Hi there. I'm glad to see you here again, and I'm happy to share with you some scripture. And I know that you could read this on your own, but I like the fact that you want company to join you while you hear and listen to some scripture. So today I pulled out the Nelson Study Bible, the New King James Version. It's not really a new Bible. It's one of my other Bibles that I've used for many years, but I thought that I would use it for our reading right now. I'm going to light a candle because I know when I watch other people's videos, I always like it when they light candles. I like the sound of the match striking the carton, and then I just think it's so pretty to have a candle going. I'm going to put it over here, okay? I don't know how much you'll really see it. Let me put it here for you. But it's there. I wanted to ask you, do you ever not believe in God? Have you ever had moments where you just don't know if He's real? Or sometimes you believe and then other times you don't? I just want to tell you that's okay if you do. It's all right. Your belief doesn't make God exist or not exist. God is still there, the Creator, the one who loves you and me, no matter what. Anyway, I thought I would read to you today from the book of Ecclesiastes. I cannot say it. Gosh. Jeez. Let me find the actual writing of it. Spelling of it, I mean. And see if I can say it better. Let me turn through Proverbs. Here we go. Ecclesiastes. Yes. So what is the book of Ecclesiastes? Do you read much from this book in the Bible? I don't really, but I decided to tonight for us. Oh, I almost forgot. Get yourself comfy, please, all right? Get yourself relaxed. Just imagine that I'm fluffing up your pillow for you. I'm maybe getting a blanket to put around you in case you're chilly, or if you just want the comfort of feeling something around you. Just do whatever you need to do to relax, and just pretend like I'm sitting right next to you reading to you a little bit from the Bible. Only good comes out of reading from the Bible. So, Ecclesiastes, and let me read a little bit about what it says, who the author is. The writer says that he was the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Words that have led many to assume that the writer was Solomon. Evidence in the book itself points to Solomon. The author had more wisdom than all who were before him. And there's a lot more that I could read, but I'm going to kind of jump down here to the purpose. Solomon probably wrote this book toward the end of his life, after he had repented of idolatry and his pursuit of foreign wives. Thus, the book of Ecclesiastes is both a monument to Solomon's recommitment to the living God and a guide for others through the pitfalls and perils of life. Oh gosh, don't we know that? Life is full of pitfalls and perils. It just is. It is for everybody. Don't ever feel like you are isolated. I decided that I wanted to read chapter 3. And the title to chapter 3 says, Everything Has Its Time. Now I know when I read this to you, you're going to recognize it because these words have been used for songs and really just they've been said before casually and randomly. But anyway, it's okay. We're here to hear scripture. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to gain and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. The God-given task. What profit has the worker from that in which he labors? I have seen the God-given task with which the sons of men are to be occupied. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from the beginning to end. I know that nothing is better for them than to rejoice and to do good in their lives, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be added to it, and nothing taken from it. God does it that men should fear before him. That which is has already been, and what is to be has already been. And God requires an account of what is past. I think if we always believed that and remembered that we will give an account, it would help us to make good decisions, right? But we're not perfect. And God knows that. Thank goodness. But I want to read also down at the bottom here a little explanation of what they think some of the scripture means. And this is for Ecclesiastes 1 through 8. And it says, eternity in their hearts refers to a deep-seated, compulsive drive to transcend our mortality by knowing the meaning and destiny of the world. Because we are made in the image of God, we have an inborn inquisitiveness about eternal realities. We can find peace only when we come to know our eternal Creator, even then we know God only in part. And it says, look to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. So let's do that. Let's scroll over into the New Testament and let's find 1 Corinthians, Book of Acts, and I passed it. There we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 10. God only in part, from beginning to end. And here 1 Corinthians chapter 13:10 says, "For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known." I guess that just means when we get to heaven, we see ourselves for who we really are, how God sees us. And I'm going to just add this last sentence. "And now abide faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love." Oh my goodness. Don't we need that now in this world? Is just to put that first, is to love. If we did that more so, it would just be better. Much better. Anyway, I think I'm kind of done. Let me just read this. I like this. The value of a friend. I hope you have a friend. I hope you have a few friends. I know it's hard sometimes to have genuine friends. In our world, it looks like on social media that everybody has friends, but the truth is, not a lot of people have very good friends. I know my father always said, "You're lucky if you can count on one hand and take away half your fingers and say that you have that many good friends." So it's really like 2 or 3 good friends. If you have that many, you're very lucky. So let's read this. The value of a friend. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for those labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, 2 can withstand him, and a 3-fold cord is not quickly broken. Oh, I gotta read this last one. Popularity passes away. Better a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who will be admonished no more. For he comes out of prison to be king, although he was born poor in his kingdom. I saw all the living who walk under the sun. They were with the second youth who stands in his place. There was no end of all the people over whom he was made king. Yet those who come afterward will not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and grasping for the wind. I'm not really sure what that means. Popularity, even in the form of royal power, is elusive. In one case, an old king had been born to the throne but became so foolish and senile that he cannot discern that his days for ruling are over. In another case, a young man like Joseph may rise from prison to take the throne. And then the verse that says those who come afterward, even the young man who replaces his predecessor will share the old king's fate. Today's hero may become tomorrow's beggar. I guess that's just, I don't know what that means. What does that mean to you? To me, that just means that everything has a time and a place. and enjoy it while you can, but be okay when things change, because it just means that that's your new time and your new place to be. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm so happy that you have joined me and let me read to you and let me tell you that you're special and that I really appreciate your ears for listening to me speak to you. I hope somehow I've made you feel better. I know you've made me feel better. So you take care of yourself. And if it's nighttime where you are when you hear this, have a wonderful night and blessed sleep, okay? And come back soon to visit me so I can read to you again. Okay.